After 5 years, a decision has been made in a quadruple homicide case. Good evening and thank you for being with us. In Cherokee County, Jesse Pawlowski pleaded guilty this afternoon to capital murder, avoiding the death penalty. He was one of 3 people charged in connection with the deaths of 4 people back in 2021. Tonight, KLTV7's Michael Richardson takes us inside the courtroom where Pawlowski spoke following his plea.
4-5 beyond reasonable doubt. You are guilty of the capital felony offense of capital murder.
5 years after he was charged in connection with the murders of John Thomas Clinton, Jeffrey Gerla, Amanda Bain, and Amy Hickey, Jesse Pawlowski pled guilty to capital murder in front of Judge Chris Day.
I thought about this day 5 years. I just want the family to know that I'm sorry.
What you admitted to is beyond words.
Arrest documents say the victims were inside a home when a gun deal went wrong. Investigators say Pawlowski orchestrated a robbery instead of paying for the firearms. Defense attorney Bobby Mims says Pawlowski expressed remorse.
He's very remorseful, more than just for himself, because he's going to die in prison. This is a death in prison sentence. That's the bottom line.
The district attorney had no comment, but pointed out there are 2 other pending cases associated with this one. The co-defendants are accused of firing the shots that killed the victims. Mims says taking the case to trial would have cost hundreds of thousands of dollars.
This case, we've already spent over $600,000 just where we are right now. Were it to go on, it would have taken another year at least to get it ready for trial, at $1 million more.
Michael Richardson, KLTV7 News.
Jesse Pawlowski will spend life in prison without the possibility of parole.